Okay, we're going to do the next turn here, which would be January 1940. I'm just going to go on the assumption that the Japanese are ready to go. So let's get this done here. This is just an example I've laid out with the French. It all depends on what they do, really, on how you attack them. So let's get rid of that. I was going to do a build like that, but that build doesn't work. So now the Maginot line is here on Lorraine, and that affects anything coming through Luxembourg or through Munich attacking Lorraine. It gives all defending units +3 in the first round, and it has 2 shots at 6 that are first strike from artillery. So attacking that is kind of tough. So if you can, you're going to avoid it. Now the reason I've got my units split for Germany in Munich and Western Germany is it gives me the option to move my units up or move my units down. But it also kind of forces the French to not know where I'm going and try to spread them out. Now, right now as it sits, there's more units on the outside of Paris than there is on the inside. We're about the same. So it doesn't matter whether I spear in and go take Paris or if I take the outside. If instead they had done something like that with those infantry, if they had built them there instead, or stacked them all there, that would have, if they stack them in there, I'd rather circle around. If instead they built these 5 guys over here, right, I would just charge in. Right now it's kind of a 50-50. It doesn't really matter. So let's see what we can do here. I've collected the money for everybody, including that insane everybody maxed out on their income rolls. Technically, they normally get around half of that, but on average, but you never know, right? That's the worst case scenario for Germany, best case scenario for the Allies. Next roll, they might get ones. You never know. Okay, so we're either going to attack through Belgium into Picardia here, and then surround, and at the same time we could attack here. Now we could do that, and we'd probably take it, because we've got the 5-6 infantry, we've got a light tank, we've got a cavalry, we've got an anti-aircraft, we've got an artillery, we've got a fighter and a tactical, and we've got the 5 tanks and 5 mechs down there. So we should be able to take that, even with the bonus and the 2 free hits, even if they both hit. First strike, taking off 2 units, right? We'd still be able to take that. Also on this side here, the Belgians have 3 regular infantry and a mountain for some reason, even though they have no mountains here. That must be a typo as well, but well, whatever. Like last setup, they only had 4 infantry here, no mountains, so whatever. It doesn't matter. We also have 5 infantry and artillery, a light tank, 5 tanks, 5 mechs, 2 fighters, a medium bomber, right? So this could all get involved there. Or these aircraft could get involved here, or the tanks could, right? So as it sits here, it's going to be harder to attack this than it's worth. So we're going to use our double move this turn. So by doing that, I would attack Belgium here, and I would take in everything we have over here. I should really have put this on the battle board, but I'll take everything we have over here, and since I'm going to use the double move, I'm going to blitz right into Paris next move. So to do that, I would probably, now I don't need to take all these tanks, right? So let's just say we take 3 of the tanks and 3 of the mechs. So this is 1 combat move here. So we're going to attack with, oh man, we don't need 3. We'll just take 2. We'll take 2. That means I need more chips to put though. So we'll attack with 6 tanks and 6, oh, sorry, 6 tanks and 6 mechs. Oh no, that's 5, 6, oh, that's 5. We're taking 2, so let's just chip that out properly here. That will be 6. I'm making a mess here. I might redo this. We'll see. So 6. I had 5. Now we're bringing along 7 of each, right? So that gives us some free chips to use somewhere else. So let's just bring in the cavalry because it can move 1, 2. So we'll throw the cavalry in there, and we'll throw in the 1 light tank. What happened to my other light tank? Huh. Oh, I misplaced my light tank, and I put down a mech instead, apparently, when I was chipping something out last time. So the light tank from here, and we'll leave the light tank down there as we did in our combat moves previously. Alright, so other combat moves. So I figure that this stack here, along with, let's bring in this aircraft and this aircraft. So 3 fighters, a tactical, a medium bomber, 7 tanks, 7 mechs, 5 infantry. We should be okay. Now that leaves us with 3 tanks and 3 mechs down here, which are going to do a different combat move. These ones, let's use them in Poland here. So these ones are going to go 1, 2. And we're going to attack with those infantry and these infantry. And that's all we're going to do this impulse. In fact, yeah, that's all we're going to do this impulse. Now, if we want to get really annoying for the British, we could also bring this guy involved. But, yeah, let's do it. So this can fly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 air transport and deliver this guy up here. If it's empty. If it's not empty, well, you can do something different. You can throw them into Paris, the Paris attack, or you can throw them into this attack, right? So we'll just hold off on that. That's just an option. So right now we're going to keep that guy back. That's that for these attacks. Let's see what happens. You know what we're also going to do? We're also going to bring these artillery down here as well. We'll bring those in there and boost some of these. If I can eliminate that in one shot, I can't blitz this turn, but I get my double move, so I can bring everything here and there, or the other way around. It don't matter. We'll figure it out. Alright, so that's that. Now, this should be an easy fight against these infantry. So, we could roll it out, or we could do something really basic and just say, okay, we're going to just assume that everybody gets 1 hit on the first round. Just to be fair, these are all fighting at 4. They really get a 1 in 3 chance, but we'll assume they get 4 hits. Just to... There we go. They got 4 hits. 4 infantry dead. Alright, so this stack is now parked here. Let's just move some of these ships out of the way. We'll just stuff it all in there. Okay, so these planes have to land somewhere else, right? So where are we going to land these planes? We're going to land them all in Munich. They can go 1, 2, right? There was 1 or 2 here and 1 or 2 here. So they all have a move of 4, 5 or more. So there you go. We'll land them all in Munich. Now, what would you do? Okay, so that's that for attack. So we assume that they took off 5. Oh, I used the light tank here instead of the mech. That's what I did wrong. I was wondering where that mech or light tank went. I had an extra mech. Haha. Funny, funny. Okay, so these are all in here. Now you've taken Belgium. And let's assume you took this location down here. What is that actually called? Donetsk. So you took out these 2 infantry, and let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say they took 2 of yours. There you go. So now you have 3 tanks, 3 mechs, 2 artillery, and 3 infantry left alive in there. That's a pretty hefty stack. You should be able to take this stuff out here. We'll see. Now that's first impulse. Right? Let's do some non-combat moves with this stuff. So we got all these troops here. You're fairly certain that this stack can hit this, and then these tanks and mechs can blitz into the city, along with all these aircraft. Right? Even though they got these infantry here. So you probably don't need all these guys down here. So what you're going to do is you're going to non-combat move 2 infantry up here just to hold the line, and then you're going to strategic rail move these 3 infantry and 1 artillery for 4, right? And this light tank here is just going to non-combat move to here. Notice what I've done. I've moved all this stuff around. I still have a little bit here so that if the British decide to be annoying and start landing troops, they're not going to take all my stuff. Like West Germany, that would be annoying if they drop transport or an airborne or something in there. I'm leaving something in Berlin, not much, but something, just in case. Okay, round 2, we're going to attack Picardia here with all of this stuff. Except for, you know what, we'll leave the 1 infantry behind. So that's that attack here on Picardia. We'll also bring in 1, 2 from an airbase so we can bring in these fighters. And the tactical. And this medium bomber, I'm also planning on attacking Paris, and I'm going to be bringing these along for the blitz if I can get this done in 3 rounds or less. So I'm just going to say that this medium bomber is going to do an attack here, and when the blitz shows up, it will come help it. Alright, now on this side we got all these tanks and mechs, right, and infantry. So we're going to just wander in here. We're going to attack this with 6 infantry, a light tank, an artillery. Then we will also bring in everything we got over here. And these things are going to attack up here into the city. Right, now you'll notice that I'm attacking this with equal numbers of infantry. And my infantry match what they have. I'm also bringing in 3 tanks, 3 mechs, an artillery, and a light tank for some added attack boost. Should I be successful in 3 rounds, I will be moving these guys over to here, and these 3 infantry and 2 artillery, actually, yeah, will be involved in the attack on the city there. So this is the same round, 2 impulses. All right, so there you go. That's just a quick little look at this. Now let's see what happens. I haven't rolled anything out here, but this one's a little tighter. I'm probably going to lose mechs and tanks. Or mechs. I want to keep my mechs alive to take hits when I attack the city. It's also why I brought the medium bomber in there, to get more hits on that. You never know what they got there, so I just want to kill that in as little rounds as possible. In fact, I'm going to bring this guy in there too. Why not? Just hit him with everything you got. Right? You're trying to take Paris out in one turn. You do not want the British putting anything in Marseille here if you don't take Paris out, because if they do, you can't create Vichy. And that means all these blue ships are going to be part of your problem for the rest of the game here. So I'm just going to pause this video here, and I'm going to move these units to the battle board here. Let's just move these this little French battle over here to the battle board, and we'll see if we can take Paris. Alright, this is that battle in Picardia. It'll affect whether we can non-combat move these units, or combat move these units in a blitz into Paris or not. So let's do this really quick. I'm just going to attack them with everything I have. Okay, so 5, 6, 7 tanks, 3 fighters. Let's do that, and 1 tactical bomber. That is a miss. 7 tanks and 3 fighters. And I need 6s. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits already. That's all I needed. Done. Alright. Let's see what happens for the French here. 4 infantry at 4. They got 1 hit, so let's lose a cavalry. Alright, and 1 militia at 2. That's also a hit. Lucky militia. Let's lose an infantry. Alright, so this stuff can't blitz, so it's going to be left behind in Picardia. Alright, I'm attacking a city. So these 5 infantry get +1. The fighter is still a fighter. The medium bomber is still a medium bomber. Where do they have that on here? There we go, medium bomber. The artillery is an artillery. There we go. That's all I got. And I'd also designated this medium bomber as only attacking Paris. So I get to bring in the medium bomber as well. So those are the numbers of units on the board here. Let's turn that down a little bit so you can actually see it. There we go. Alright. So let's see if we can do a roll here. Of course, let's just put that over there then. I'm sitting on top. There we go. Alright. There are aircraft now this time, so round 1 is their superiority. Let's, I have no first strike, but the French have a first strike, so they roll first. So their French artillery at 3, first strike is an 8, so it's a miss. So that's already rolled. Okay. Now, anything they killed wouldn't be able to roll against them, right? So you roll them first. Alright. I'm not too particularly worried about target selection here. It doesn't really matter to me. I should be able to get this fast enough, so I'm just going to roll the tactical and the medium together. 2 hits, 7, and that is 2 hits. Neither of them would have been target selected, so 2 hits. Yeah, we got these 7 tanks again. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 tanks, and they have at 6, 1, 2, 3, 3 more hits. So that's 5 hits. The 3 fighters in their superiority round are going to only get 1 hit. So that's 1 air superiority round hit. I'm just going to leave that there. So I'm sitting at 6 hits. Oh, and I got 7 mechs. So 2, 4, 6, 7 mechs at 3. And I've got 3 more hits. So I've managed to get 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm going to need 6, 7, 8, and 9 hits in total. So I've taken everything out. Let's see what the French can do. So these guys are all casualties. And this one's already rolled, so I'm just going to leave it off the map there. Alright, what are the French going to do back? And you'll notice I'm overpowering my attacks on purpose. Like I said, this is a conservative roll. So the fighter, air superiority, is a hit. So I will lose a German fighter. Now, the 5, 6 infantry at 5 are going to get only 2 hits. So we'll lose 2 mechs, of course. We'll lose 2 mechs. So from 7 to 5. Now, the 1 medium bomber, and they're done. Let's see what they do. 1 medium bomber. It's a hit, so we'll lose 3 mechs. Alright, so that's my surviving army in Paris. Now, I still have other combats to do, so I'm just going to place the survivors here in Paris for now, and we'll figure that out. But I still have the other combat moves to do in Poland. But we'll figure that out in a second here. So, non-combat move. I'm just going to do this so that I don't have this mess of planes. I lost a fighter, so I only have 2 fighters, a medium and a tactical, that are all going to get dumped here in Munich. Alright. Actually, let's throw a couple of fighters up in there. Just keep that stuff alive. Just in case. Alright. Okay, continuing here, we just finished the attack, the successful German attack on Paris. So, the French are now in a pickle. French surrender conditions. French player surrenders if Paris is captured or surrounded. Once this happens, German player may choose to resolve the Vichy rule that dictates what happens to the French fleet and colonies. Alright. When French surrender conditions are met, the French player must choose a second capital. Alright, French continues. So, with the Vichy thing, France surrenders. What also happens is that all units inside of mainland France that did not fight surrender as well. So, this is what it looks like now. Those guys all just gave up. That's why they're sitting in the ocean. Now, the French have quite a bit of navy here. And if, this is a big if, but if the British manage to get 1 unit down in Marseille, Vichy France can't happen, which means all this navy stays free French. In fact, everything's free French. There is no Vichy France. I've only seen that happen once in our games, and it did not end well for the Italians. They were fighting all that navy all by themselves. The Americans didn't even have to come over here and help out. They just went straight at Japan. It was a brutal, ugly game. Alright. Now, so that's happened. We can do these Polish attacks if you wish. But regardless of what happens with Vichy France, if I was the German player, I would make that Vichy, but I was going to be putting this, and this, and this, And you took that without fighting. Now the fort's gone. The Maginot Line's gone. All right. Oh, and we can't forget we also took Belgium last turn, or the same turn here. And that's, oh, and Corsica's part of the deal here. So that's that. Now, the Germans also took this spot here. And they are planning on taking 2 more. But we'll do the Polish stuff in a bit. First, so the French have been annihilated on the mainland. So they went up to 17 income. I haven't moved it up there yet. But they also lost 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is going to be Vichy, so they lost 10 income. So they went up to 17 and they lost 10. So this one's worth nothing. So they're currently at 7. So the French had a big increase and then they lost all their money. So they're tied now with Italy. And we'll see what happens with Vichy France, because they're going to do a roll for all the remaining $7 worth of French income to see whether it stays Vichy or not. But Vichy for sure has $1. So there you go. I got Vichy on the map at $1, French at 7. Now, what did I say that was? 6, 7, 8, 9. That is a $9 increase for the Germans, just like that. So, oh my. They are now at 33 from the French stuff. I have not done anything over here. I'm not going to do the roll for Vichy at this point in time, because I'm going to show that in my French video. So this is just the disposition here, and all these ships are in question. The remaining French income also in question. Now, let's do a little bit of Poland here. This is still the same turn, right? This turn takes forever as Germany. And everybody else, like if you're Russia, you're going, I don't know if you have you're either going to go watch something on TV, go for a butt, you know, maybe grab yourself a beer. You're the guy going out to go get takeout, something, right? So let's just do this one first here, because we want these tanks to blitz into there. So we have 3 tanks, 6. Look at that, 3 hits. 3 mechs at 3. Nothing. 1 light tank at 4. It's a 4th hit. And can't forget the artillery first strike. It is a miss, so it doesn't matter. But if it was a hit, one of these guys would be coming off for the Poles without fighting. Now, 1 infantry is upgraded due to the artillery to a 3. That's a miss, and we need 6 infantry for round 1. We need to get this done in 3 rounds in order to get that blitz successful. So let's see what happens. 6 infantry, they're attacking at 2, and I managed to get a 1 and a 2. So that is a total of 6 hits. Hey, look at that. We only needed 5 infantry and cavalry, so we're good. So now, Poles are going to roll 5 infantry at 4, and they are going to get 2 hits on us, and 1 cavalry at 3. That's the 3rd hit. That's actually really good. So, the Poles took off 3 guys. Let's just lose these 3 infantry. And these guys all got eliminated. Right, just like that. So now, light tanks cannot blitz, so they're stuck behind. We're going to bring these 3 light tanks and these 3 mechs, or sorry, 3 regular medium tanks and 3 mechs in on the blitz, since it was less than 3 rounds, or less than 4 rounds, 3 rounds or less, right? They're going to join these 2 artillery and the 3 infantry. So, alright, let's do this one here. Let's just roll it from the top here. 3 tanks. That is at 6. That's fluky 3 hits. 3 mechs at 3. Nothing. 2 artillery for strikes. That is 1 hit. So if I was the Polish guy, I would take this cavalry off. It does not get a bonus because it's technically an armored class. And for defense in the city. And it's got the lowest defense value. So there you go. First strike got that one. Now 2 infantry at 3 paired with the artillery. Nothing, and 1 infantry by itself, nothing. So we've managed to get that first strike and 3 hits. Well, guess what we needed? We only had 3 guys alive now. So we've eliminated them also. So there we go. The Poles are also gone. So this is all in the same round, remember? So we've got all this stuff now stacked here. And so that's $1. I think this one's worth nothing. And $2. So with these $2 we've made, those also get added to the German income. 1, 2. However, the British are going to go up 1 because they have Poland would have aligned with Britain. So the British go up to 25 here. So their wartime income plus $1 because their wartime income has increased by 1. All right. Oh, and I forgot to give the Germans Belgium. That's another 2. So 1, 2. So Germany is sitting at 37 now. Let's see what happens. They're not doing too strong here though. Now, the reason I'm stopping here and I left these alone is I'm hoping Russia will sign the pact as the German player. Because if they do, when I align Romania here, Russia won't be rolling one of these D12 extra for income increases. They'll allow me to align that. All right, so that's that. Now, if Russia signs the pact, I immediately align Romania on the place units, right? Subsequent to the Fall of Paris, on the place units phase, you can start aligning these places. So, either Hungary, Bulgaria, or Romania. Romania's got the factory. It's got this little piece of navy here. It's got a lot more units, and it's a strategic place, and it's worth a $3 bonus to you with your war. All right, so that is what I would do as a Russian or as a German conservative opening move-ish type of thing. Yeah, you still have options. You could have used this airborne somewhere or whatever, but even just having it causes pressure. It will cause the British to put a guy here. They'll put a guy here. They'll move stuff around. They'll be cautious. They won't leave anything open. You know what I mean? Okay, so that is the end of that. Now, I'm not going to worry about what Britain's income is and whatnot. You, as Germany, have only increased your money to 37 from 24 this turn. Yeah, that's it. That's the surface value, the number printed on the map that you've gained. This one worked out, 50-50-ish. You lost a bunch of troops. You killed a bunch of troops. You're still doing okay. You got a good hold on everybody. Plus, you have that bonus. Now that you're at war, that Sweden is neutral or not aligned, so your actual collected income is going to be 40 this turn. Right? So there you are. You're collecting 40. The British are collecting 25. I think they might have a bonus, but you're doing all right. You're staging up. You got a bunch of units already here staged up. You got a factory for free here. You got this factory close to the border. You got this factory that you can align. Right? Just remember, if you declare war on Russia, you'll be aligning all 3 of these together, same time. Otherwise, you got to do 1 a turn, just like these annexes were. So it's up to you and the Russian player. Just be cautious, because Russia can declare war on you anytime to eliminate the Soviet surprise attack that the Germans can do on them. If that happens, you don't get that bonus attack value, and they don't get the negative defense value. All right, we'll leave it there. That is the starting German turn. Okay, this is still that same turn, 1940. We're doing this monstrously long German turn. And I have moved on to the place units phase. So what I've placed is 5 infantry here and 4 infantry up there from all the German money. I've transferred over the French money to the Germans there, the $11. Now, on this side, it depends on whether you sign the pact or not, as to which one of these 3 you are going to align. Now, best case scenario for the Germans, we're going to assume that the pact is signed with Russia, which means they will be taking all of these things and allow you to align Romania. Look at that. It's an extra $3 on the board. You're now at 40. And it's worth another bonus 3 to you. Plus your bonus 3 for this being neutral in Sweden. So you're actually going to be collecting 46. Plus you got the $11 in French money. That leaves you at 57. Like, look at that. You're making a killing. Oh, and of course you're going to collect the 2 Vichy bucks. So the 2 Vichy bucks and your 46. $46 plus your 2 Vichy bucks. And these units all become German. I'll not bore you with showing that. And we're going to leave it here, and I'm going to start a strategy video series on now what do you do with Russia? Or maybe you do a sea lion. We'll figure it out. This would be a decent opportunity for either one. And that is the end of this German strategy video 1940, and I did a separate video on the Vichy Rolls here, so if you want to see that, I'll have it in here but separate. Okay, there you go.